Hi, I'm Alison and welcome to my back garden. I decided to move filming outside today. It is a glorious day in England, so I'm going to make the most of it. Also have a new camera. I have all the gear and absolutely no idea, so let's see how this goes. I thought today we'd have a little chitty chat about airline amenity kits, have a little look what you typically get inside, look at some of the pros and cons of them, and kind of have a discussion about the weight of them, the cost of them, and also the environmental waste from them as well. I am Blue Peter generation, and in typical Blue Peter style, I have a kit that I made earlier, so we'll have a look inside of here, and let's go. So, what are airline amenity kits? They're typically given out to passengers flying premium economy, business or first class, and they come in a bag or a pouch, often reusable, and contain essential items for your trip. So things like eye masks, socks, possibly some toiletries as well. So let's have a look at some of the pros of these kits. I would say the first thing is convenience. So if you forget an item, say for example your toothpaste, once you get on the plane, you open up the bag, there'll be one of those little cute sample sizes in there that will see you through and save the day. On a recent flight that I had back from Chicago, I dropped my earplug on the plane floor and there was no way that was going to go anywhere near my ear. I am the passenger that judges when other passengers go in the plane toilet wearing only their socks. Absolutely disgusting. The next thing we're going to think about is comfort. We've all left the plane with that kind of dehydrated skin feel, sometimes due to the plane environment, other times possibly due to a gin and tonic too many. These kits will often contain skincare, moisturiser, lip balm that can help counteract that. With a focus on sustainability and the environment, airlines are more aware of this topic now. Many of the bags and pouches are made out of recycled material these days, and they're often designed in a way that they could be repurposed. So for example, some of the pouches you could use for carrying your tech, things like your charging cables and spare batteries. I have a few old bags from Virgin Atlantic and British Airways Club that can be used to put your shoes in for when you pop them in your suitcase. So I tend to use that rather than carrier bags. When I get home, take my shoes out, and those bags can be re-washed and reused as well. Brand awareness is really important. So a lot of the kind of brands that you will find in these kits are trying to increase their brand awareness. So for example, the AeroMexico bag had Field Note notebooks in it. I know back in the early noughties, Origin's beauty counter, beauty products were in the American Airlines business kit. And even now, when I'm in a department store and I walk by an Origin's counter, I automatically have that link back to American Airlines. There is a novelty factor with these kits. If you've got a one-time upgrade, maybe you've cashed in some air miles or you've had a gate upgrade, they're a great souvenir and memory of that experience. Any extra kits that I have, I quite often leave on the guest bed. If I have a friend staying over, they're always gratefully received. And I take any spare kits that I have down to the local charity shop. There are lots of cons to these kits. The big one for me is just the waste and the environmental impact. You only have to leave an aeroplane, walk through business class, and there's these discarded kits all over the place. They will just get binned, both the pouches and the contents of those kits. It's so wasteful, it fills up the landfill, and it's so bad for the environment as well. These kits are often overhyped. You'll read a lot of kind of online forums, a lot of websites, and there's a lot of kind of big up about the content. And I think when you're on your first flight in business class, it's really exciting to get your amenity kit. But by the time you gather a few, you're just hoarding them. You already have the contents of the kit, and they are just overhyped at this point in time. The contents of the kit are quite often really poor quality. The socks are really thin, they're really itchy, they snag really bad. Some of the pencils are made out of cardboard and they literally just disintegrate as you use them. So are they really worth bringing on board? Could you actually do better by making your own kit up? Another con is that these kits are not customizable. Every single person will have an identical kit. We all like different products. Some of us have allergies to some of the toiletries in them. Would it not be better if we could pick and choose what we actually wanted? Here are some examples of some airline amenity kits and their contents. The first kit is AeroMexico. I love the Field Notes book because I am a stationery girl at heart. The next kit is TAP Air Portugal. And here we are back with AeroMexico and their Amenity kit. And British Airways Club World. I discuss a little about what I take on the plane with me in this video about this Bellroy pouch. I try and take my own essentials. They are personalised to me. I know what I'm going to use. I know what I like. So I try not to break into the airline amenity kits that they supply unless I really need to. So what is the future going to be like with regards to amenity kits on planes? I know some airlines, including Singapore, have trialled a more pick and mix scheme. This may be the way forward. So just like if you check in a hotel and you've forgotten one item, for example, your razor, you can phone down to reception and collect just that one item. I do worry about the workload for the crew, both pre-flight and in-flight, where they're already juggling a zillion other tasks to do, and this will just be something else that they need to deal with. And you know, there's always going to be that one person who picks up every single item on every single flight, because there always is. So, are amenity kits worth it? Have you had a really good kit that you want to share down below, or do you just think they should be removed from planes at this point in time? Let me know. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. See you soon.